Hello biomechanics class, this is Yuri, and I wasn't able to be present physically for the presentation, so I created this little video to help deliver a presentation with Mark and Daryl. So I wanted to start right with Newton's third law, and just in basic summary, what this law means is action and reaction forces. And here is, you can see an example of a running person for driving action, which is force applied to the ground, and the ground returns the force in the opposite direction acting on the body. And these forces are dependent, so the more driving action, then the more ground reaction force will be returned. And the next slide, I want to talk about stress and strain curve. This curve talks about different, can be related to different materials, but in our case we want to focus on biological tissue, something like tendons. And on this curve we have the stress and the strain, and the red curve would represent our elastic and plastic region of the tissue. In elastic region, right up to the green point, tissue can be stretched and due to the force, and after the force is no longer applied, the tissue returns in its original position. As soon as you go beyond the yield point, you reach the plastic region, and the plastic region, that's where micro damage happens to the tissue, and even after the force is no longer there, it doesn't return to original form, so it gets deformed basically. And here is the failure point, and at that point, if you go beyond that point, push the limit, then the tissue or the tendon will rupture completely and get damaged. Here in this slide we still have a stress and a strain curve, but the main focus here is hysteresis. And basically what this means is energy loss during the loading and unloading. So here, if you can see the blue line, that's the stretch of the tendon or the loading would happen, and then the unloading will follow that. And then this region right here in between, that's where the energy was stored, and this will also represent the energy loss, because we went from here all the way down to here. And anything beyond on the unloading area, that means energy that was preserved. So in our topic, how is it relevant? Well, since we'll be talking about running, especially the running shoes, and something to keep in mind, here on the graph you can see hysteresis, again when the energy is lost, but in this case of the heel pad of the humans. And in the young person we can see that first of all is energy that produced is higher than the aged person, and also the energy loss is much less than the energy loss at the aged person or a worn out heel pad. So that's something to keep in mind when we're trying to focus on creating a perfect shoe for the different physical activities such as running or walking. Alright, so for the rest presentation, Mark and Daryl will talk a little bit more to you guys. Thank you for your attention.